So Karl Jacobs got canceled a couple days ago on Twitter, and just how normal cancellations go on the internet, and basically any type of Twitter cancellation, anything trending on Twitter saying whoever is canceled, it's normally a bunch of garbage that isn't important. It's normally something that doesn't even matter, just the most minuscule little detail. Someone's gonna blow it up, someone's gonna get a big tweet viral, and then you're gonna get canceled for it. And it looks like this is another one of those situations. So I'm here to explain the drama, explain what really went on with this whole cancellation of Karl Jacobs, and show some tweets of what people were saying. Eventually he apologized for the same thing. So yeah, if you guys are interested in this type of content, it would be greatly appreciated if you just drop a like. I'm really just trying to grow this channel, and subscribe if you want to see more videos exactly like this. But if you're not already familiar with who Karl Jacobs is, basically to give a quick rundown, he was one of Mr. Beast's friends who was featured heavily in some of his videos, which really blew him up into the scene to become a big YouTuber, become a big streamer. Then when Mr. Beast became acquainted with Dream, that whole friend group came together, and now he has a huge mass of followers of the Minecraft stans, the Minecraft fans that Dream has, and now they're basically on his side as well. And if you know who Karl Jacobs is at least a little bit, you know that he's very family friendly. He doesn't really say a lot of huge swear words, of course no slurs, he doesn't say anything too disrespectful or even anything nearly offensive at all. So for someone like him to get canceled on the internet, it's like a huge surprise to everyone, because you never expect the huge family friendly type of YouTubers to get into a drama like this, or to support someone bad in the past, like what happened in this place. But in this specific case scenario, what Karl Jacobs did was nowhere near even offensive, and he didn't even do anything too egregious, or I don't even know how people could get mad at this. But essentially, Karl Jacobs was a fan, and he met up with an offensive streamer in the past. There was this guy called Poseidon who did some very offensive and weird little Twitch streams where he would go up to random people and say some offensive things on the street. He was like an IRL type of streamer, and Karl Jacobs went to one of his streams one day, and he wanted to be featured in the big YouTuber stream because Poseidon was a big big streamer at the time. He was one of the biggest on Twitch. So Karl Jacobs thought this would be a good opportunity to just have a little bit of fun and go to see if he was gonna be on his stream. So a lot of the Minecraft stans found this old clip of Karl Jacobs now that he's brought to the spotlight of the universe, spotlight of the internet essentially. A lot of fans of his and a lot of Minecraft fans, as they always do, they bring up old clips of anyone they could think of to try to cancel them or to try to call them out for their past mistakes in the past, or even something like this that isn't even that big of a deal. They brought up this clip of Karl Jacobs being featured in this offensive guy's stream, and they made a huge deal out of this on Twitter, attempting to cancel him. One of the main thread of tweets calling Karl Jacobs out for this on Twitter was this right here, saying, "Now I know many others have talked about you previously supporting a streamer named Poseidon who has done extremely disrespectful and hurtful things to the black community, and I want to tell you why this is very concerning for us black people. Knowing that Ice has raided black streamers and sent his chat to say racial slurs in their chat, he antagonized black people to get a reaction out of them, to later call the police expecting them to get harmed, and overall knowing that he's a racist white supremacist. It makes it seem like you supported all of these disgusting actions. Now I can't say that you still support him, but you need to know that even if you supported him in the past, it speaks volumes now, and at this point it makes me angry knowing that you haven't even explained much on this situation. I can't speak for all black people in the community, but what I will say is that this isn't acceptable. Maybe you can address the whole thing in more depth so we have a better understanding of the situation, but overall it just hurts." And when Karl Jacobs was on stream, he issued an apology kind of addressing the whole thing.
So there's threads going out there that I've associated with a streamer, a prominent streamer that is currently known for a lot of bad stuff, like racism, any phobia you could think of. And I just want to make it clear, 1,000,000% I don't condone anything they've done. I hope that it's clear that that's just not who I am as a person. It's just never who I want to be. It's not, I just don't want anybody to ever associate that garbage with me, because it's just not true, right? I don't know, I'm sorry that I've made anybody feel uncomfortable, because I understand that. I went stream sniping, and I just wanted to address that and say, honestly, I am sorry that I've upset people. I know I have. I was never a massive fan, but I guess I did actively support bad content creators at one point, and I am sorry.
So Karl's basically saying that he wasn't familiar with the extents of what Ice Poseidon was doing with his platform, especially the little detailed message about him using his chat maliciously to go attack other black streamers and say a whole bunch of slurs. Karl is saying that he wasn't familiar at all, and he basically just saw this big YouTuber, this big streamer, and thought that it would be a good idea because he was in town, so he would go on his stream and say what's up and whatnot like that. So now it's just a situation of he said, she said. You can believe him if you want, you don't have to believe him if you don't want to, but we'll never know the truth at the end of the day. But let's say even if Karl Jacobs was at least decently familiar with what Ice Poseidon was doing on his channel, because he would heckle random people in the mall, on the street, and do a whole bunch of offensive things, just basically annoying people, giving people trouble when they're living their everyday lives. Let's say that even Karl Jacobs thought that was a little bit entertaining, and he thought that it was a little bit fun of a content, and he thought what Ice Poseidon was doing was a little funny. Still, that is nothing for him to get canceled over, and that is nothing for him to potentially lose followers over just because he finds something funny. Like, what are we gonna start doing? Start canceling people for just having like an offensive type of humor, having a dark sense of humor? I mean, this sets such a weird standard. I mean, are we gonna start canceling people, start calling people out for listening to offensive lyrics and like rap music? Are we gonna start canceling, like, this is like the same lines as like the violence causes kids to grow up to be like mass murderers or like terrible villains, terrible criminals just for playing like GTA 5 in their room. This is such a weird conversation to be had. I mean, supporting and doing a specific action is completely different than finding something funny. I mean, if someone just goes up on a stage randomly, like let's say there's this drunk guy at like some comedy stand, some stand-up comedy place, and he starts just saying a whole bunch of like terrible things that I can't even say on YouTube, and you just laugh out of shock value, like, what the hell is this guy doing? Did he seriously just say that? And that absolutely does not mean that you support it, but you still can find it funny for about like 5 seconds. And as Karl said in his apology, he nowhere near knew the extent and like the little itty bitty details of what Ice Poseidon was doing with his platform and how malicious he was. Like, even if he was a big fan, I mean just like a fan of Ice Poseidon, he could just have like a face value look at things and just see that he does like type of offensive, kind of just heckling random people on the street type of content, just being like a little bit of like having funny streams like that. But he nowhere near could have been familiar with like maliciously him attacking other creators and him like telling his chat to call people other racial slurs. Like, he easily could have not been familiar with that. So it's just another situation where it's like, okay, you're gonna believe what you want, but to try to cancel someone over this and treat the little bit of evidence or proof that Karl Jacobs could be racist, to try to treat that as actual concrete facts to try to get this guy canceled is just absurd, and it has no basis at all. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, it'd be greatly appreciated if you would subscribe and like if you want to see more videos like this. Daily content, I'm pumping these videos out, so hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you later.